Have you ever noticed something strange? A person can go one full day without eating and somehow survive. They can stay away from social media for a few hours and still be okay. But when the person they love doesn't reply for just 10 minutes, suddenly the brain starts acting like a detective agency. Why haven't they replied? Are they busy? Did I say something wrong? Are they talking to someone else? And before you know it, you've checked your phone 47 times in 8 minutes. Funny, right? But here's the question. What if love is not always just love? What if sometimes it's an addiction? Today we're talking about the addiction called love. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might look at your relationships in a completely different way. Let's begin. Imagine this. You meet someone. At first, they're just another person. Then you start talking. A few messages become long conversations. A few conversations become daily conversations. And suddenly, your happiness starts depending on whether they text you good morning. Your mood depends on their attention. Your day feels incomplete without them. Sounds romantic. Movies call it true love. Songs celebrate it. Friends tease you about it. But your brain? Your brain sees something else. Scientists have found that romantic love activates many of the same reward systems in the brain that are activated by addictive substances. In simple words, the brain starts treating that person like a reward. Every text message feels like a tiny prize. Every compliment feels like a jackpot. Every notification from them feels like winning a mini lottery. That's why your face lights up when their name appears on your screen. It's not magic, it's chemistry. Now here's where things get interesting. Let's say that person suddenly becomes less available. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're working. Maybe they're just taking a nap. But your brain doesn't care. The reward has disappeared. And when a reward disappears, the brain wants it even more. That's why some people become obsessed. Not because they're crazy. Not because they're weak. Because their brain has learned to crave the emotional reward. Think about it. Have you ever refreshed your chat hoping for a new message? Of course you have. We've all done it. Some people refresh their bank account. Others refresh Instagram. And some refresh one person's chat window every 30 seconds. Human beings are funny creatures. Now let's talk about something nobody likes to admit. Sometimes we don't miss the person. We miss the feeling. The attention. The excitement. The validation. The comfort. The emotional high. Imagine someone gives you free ice cream every day for 6 months. You'll probably miss the ice cream. Then one day they stop. The same thing happens emotionally. When someone constantly gives us affection, attention, and validation, our brain gets used to it. And when it's gone, yes, we feel withdrawal. Just like an addiction. That's why breakups can feel physically painful. You lose the person. But you also lose the emotional rewards your brain became dependent on. And suddenly everything reminds you of them. That song. That restaurant. That random meme. Even a potato can somehow remind you of your ex. Don't ask how. The brain is very creative during heartbreak. Now here's the dangerous part. Real love and emotional addiction can look very similar from the outside. Both make you think about someone. Both make you want to spend time with them. Both make you feel excited. So what's the difference? Simple. Love adds to your life. Addiction becomes your life. Love says, I enjoy being with you. Addiction says, I can't function without you. Love creates freedom. Addiction creates dependence. Love helps you grow. Addiction makes you lose yourself. If your entire happiness depends on one person's attention, you're giving them a level of power they never asked for. And that's risky. Because people are human. Humans get busy. Humans make mistakes. Humans leave. And if your emotional stability is attached to one person, every small change starts feeling like a disaster. This is why some people lose their hobbies after entering relationships. They stop meeting friends. They stop pursuing goals. Their entire world shrinks to one person. At first it feels romantic. later it feels exhausting. Because no human being can successfully carry the responsibility of being someone else's entire source of happiness. That's too much pressure. So what does healthy love look like? Healthy love is when two complete people choose each other, not because they need each other to survive, but because they genuinely enjoy sharing life together. It's the difference between wanting water and needing oxygen. One is a preference. The other is survival. Love should feel like water. Refreshing. Comforting. Wonderful. But never like oxygen. Because the moment someone becomes your emotional oxygen, you're no longer loving them freely. You're depending on them. And dependence often disguises itself as love. The truth is, the strongest relationships are usually built by people who know how to be happy alone. Not lonely. Alone. There's a huge difference. Because when you're comfortable by yourself, you don't enter relationships looking for someone to complete you. You enter relationships looking for someone to share your completeness with. And that's powerful. So the next time you find yourself checking your phone every 5 minutes, or feeling anxious because someone hasn't replied, ask yourself one question. Do I love this person? Or am I addicted to the feeling they give me? The answer might surprise you. Because love is beautiful. Love is powerful. Love can change lives. But when love turns into addiction, it stops being a connection and starts becoming a cage. And real love was never meant to be a cage. It was meant to be a choice. A choice made every day. Freely. Honestly. And without losing yourself in the process. So remember this. The healthiest love is not finding someone you can't live without. It's finding someone who makes life better while you continue being yourself. And that might be the most important difference between love and the addiction called love. If this video made you think differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And before you leave, ask yourself, are you loving? Or are you craving?